It's time to get real about the missing piece of growing your birth or baby business. Hello, my name is Anna Lagrange and I'm one half of Baba Business, the Birth and Baby Business Academy.
Hello, my name is Liz Stamford and I'm the other half of Baba Business. And yeah, we love talking about this, don't we? Because I think quite often people can't believe what the missing piece is. So if you have been working flat out in your business and you're doing a mix of marketing, you're doing all your planning, you're doing everything that you know of, and you're
Yeah.
really and the effort and you're motivated, but you still don't seem to be getting where you want to get to, then we firmly believe that the missing piece is you, essentially, So I
Yeah.
think what we tend to do is really forget about how, and I don't want to go too woo woo with people, but how energetic our businesses are. So if we are really up in our heads and we're just doing the do and we're going from one thing to the next, and we're not like really embodying our business and taking care of ourselves and understanding our limiting beliefs and what might be holding us back or stopping us from taking the steps that we need to take, then that's often the bit that we really need to spend time on and work on.
Yeah. I think we often think about mindset and energy, not even for energy work, but like mindset, taking time out, self-care that's related to your business type thing. I think we
Yeah.
often think of it as a nice to have. We'll
Yeah.
do it when we're feeling good. We'll do it when things are going well, but actually it's not the wrong time to be doing it, but we really need to be doing it when things aren't going well. We really need to be making it an everyday activity for our business and our lives. And I think that can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming because sometimes you don't know where to start, or you think, oh, I don't know what I should be working on. And that's why we call it the rituals, because the key to it is slowly building up habits. It's
Yeah.
building up small habits that are going to move you, going to help you feel better. This is actually about feeling better. It's about feeling good in yourself, feeling good about your business. So you need to have tasks that help you to feel good as part of your business strategy. And I'm not talking about like eating chocolate or shopping. I'm talking about like things that make you feel good from the inside out. And sometimes they're uncomfortable. They're not always like all fluffy, feel good, happy things. They are going to be things that take you to uncomfortable places and help you to understand yourself better. But
Yeah.
the outcome of that is that when you know yourself better and you recognize what's going on for you and you see where you're standing in your own way and sabotaging yourself and your business, then you can take the steps to move forward from that. And it has such a great knock-on effect on all aspects of your life, but certainly in your business too. So we cannot reiterate enough how essential the rituals are to the success of your business.
Yeah, definitely. And we have some suggested rituals in a freebie, which we'll tell you about in a moment, which are some of the key things that we've used to help us navigate our businesses and to reach the level of success that we have and to continue, because we have goals, we have desires
Yeah.
for our. So we use these things all the time to help us progress. So it's things like, for me, affirmations are absolutely
Yeah.
key. Pretty much part of my everyday that I'll do affirmations. And sometimes I'm focused completely on specific area when it comes to affirmations. And then sometimes, I'm doing something that's more kind of general in terms of my well-being and how I'm feeling, etc. And it's super easy. Like, you can write your own affirmations, which is part of the kind of therapeutic process, or you can go and you can download some, you can stream some affirmations from a free site, like Insight Timer, for example. So it's not it doesn't have to be 20 minutes long. It could be 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long, you know? So I think people put things off thinking, oh, I don't have time to do that. But when you break it down, these rituals are, you know, they're small snapshots, moments of your day. And if you can't give yourself 10 to 20, even 30 minutes of the day spaced out, what are you doing? Like, you're just lying to yourself. You're sabotaging yourself
Yeah,
if you think you can't find
exactly.
10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the middle of the day, and 10 minutes in the evening to do something. So that's definitely one of my go-tos. What about you? What do you love?
So many things, but I think what's coming to mind for me first that really makes a difference for me is meditation. So I use quiet time meditation for visioning. So
Hmm.
tuning into my vision, tuning into my purpose. Again, doesn't need to be lots and lots of time. It can just be 5 minutes of just sitting quietly at the beginning of the day and just reminding myself of where I want to be in a year, in 5 years, or whatever it is. And just really tuning into how that feels.
Yeah.
Again, going quite woo, but you know, I really, I'm the older I get and the more I work on this stuff, the more I know it to be true is that, you know, the energy that we have in our feelings and in our body, it radiates to around us and it helps bring us to the things that we desire in life. And there's a lot of there's a lot of quite complex science to it that, you know, the more I learn, the more I really believe in it. And we can almost energetically match to the things that we want. So if we visualize them and if we feel into them, almost like imagine they're happening now, then there's a much higher chance of us getting there and reaching our goals. And I know it because I've lived that experience. Not to say that every single thing that I think about and visualize has happened to me, but I do know that many things have. And so I really believe in the power of that. I think I believe that it really makes us act differently as well. If you like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds a bit like just sitting there and tuning in, again, there's loads of guided relaxations, guided purpose relaxations, guided future self relaxations that are available on Insight Timer. Doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of taking space out and getting quiet and just really tuning into what it is I want. And I use
Hmm.
meditation as well for just generally if I'm struggling, if there's a limiting belief that I know is getting in my way, or if it's stopping me for doing something. Probably the most common one for me is visibility. So if I
Yeah.
know I'm not being visible enough or I want to step up my visibility, which is just an ongoing thing for me, then I will find something around visibility on Insight Timer, or I'll do a bit of journaling around
Yeah.
it so that I can help sort of like uncover some more stuff around why I'm finding it hard to go to visible on a certain topic or for a certain business or for a certain in a certain way. I will use tools to work on that. And I know you're a big fan of journaling as well.
Yeah, I love journaling, but I also specifically really love gratitude journaling,
Yeah.
thing that I do every night, even if it's just writing down. I always surprise myself. So, like last night, I remember picking up my gratitude journal to write some things down, and I was feeling a bit like, oh, what have I got to be grateful for today? You know, and then once I started writing
Mm,
it, I was like, oh my gosh, actually. And it all, like, loads of different things came up. And it's not like, the thing with things like gratitude journaling, for instance, is that you can't just be really passive about it. You know, you can't just go, oh yeah, I'm really grateful that this happened or that happened. Like, you've got to feel into it, you know? So, like,
mm,
remembering, like, oh yeah, that I'm really grateful for that because it made me feel this way, or the you know the fact that this happened today means that, you know, X, Y, or Z might happen, and you it's getting into that kind of zone, that energy, that is really, you know, really makes it very powerful to, you know, bring things closer to you, that more and more of those things closer to you that you want. So, yeah, and we're not saying like you have to do the things that we're suggesting. It's finding what works for you, but it is definitely making it a priority. I promise you, if you are not prioritizing these kind of things in your day and in your business, then you are massively missing out. Like, especially if you're
yeah.
not creating success that you want. You know, we hear from clients time and time again, like that, you know, their business isn't doing as well as they want it to do. And when we check in with the, you know, the rituals piece or the mindset piece, you know, they're not doing that. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of the work that we do in the birth and baby world, we're asking our clients to do these kind of things, you know, to get at, they are kind of a little bit out of people's comfort zones because
Yeah.
they might be new, so there might be some resistance there. But we're usually asking our clients to do those kind of things. We really should be doing them for ourselves, to kind of, you know, as leaders, and to show people that this is the best way to live your life, is to make sure you're taking care of yourself, your well-being, and it just has a massive impact on every area of your life.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the last thing I want to mention is just taking space out of your business, like going for a
Yeah.
walk, getting outside, being in nature. You, if you think back to your most creative moments in your business when you come up with the best ideas, they are never going to be in front of a computer screen. For me, they're always like outside, by water, in the shower, sometimes even taking a walk at a spa. Like I always, if I go for a spa day, I always take a notebook because I know loads of business ideas will come up when I'm lying there. And so I think there's, you know, you've got to make time in your week for that as well. Like we both try and do things every day. It's not always easy because we're very busy juggling businesses and families, and
Yeah.
but we really try. And for you go for a little bit of a run now. I love doing a lot of walking at the moment, but yeah, just try and get out there and take some deep breaths, even if it's just like 5 minutes around the block. Add it
Yeah.
into your day, because you might think, oh, I'm not going to have time. But the truth is, you will be so much more productive, energized. You'll feel so much better. You've done your steps, all of that stuff. And it's so important. And if you're not doing that for yourself, schedule it in your diary with a timer and tell
Yes.
yourself, you
Yeah.
know, make yourself promises. This is all about promising yourself. This is all about actually about self-love. It's about really like knowing that looking after yourself in your business is the most powerful tool that you have. And anyone can do any of the tools that we're talking about, but it's a choice. It's a choice
Mhm.
whether whether you believe in yourself and your business. I'm half talking to myself here as well. It is a choice. Are you going to choose to do these things and do this, or are you going to continue to, you know, keep sabotaging yourself by not doing these very simple things that any human being can do and should be doing? And that's the question really from this episode, is like, how serious I am about this, how serious am I about this business, and am I actually going to make this choice and make these promises to myself that I will take, like you're saying, literally 10 minutes a day, or 10 minutes twice a day, or 20 minutes, you know what I mean? These are not big asks, no matter how big or busy your family life is. I promise you can find time for these things, but you have to choose it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And so, on that note, to help you get into the groove with developing your own routine and your own rituals, you can head to the show notes and you can download our amazing freebie, if we you know, do say so ourselves, and it will really help you get your head around like what kind of rituals we use, for instance, the ones we recommend to our members and to our clients, our other clients. It will give you an idea of like how to go about using them and implementing them into your day. And yeah, we'd love to hear how you get on with them. So do get in touch. You can always drop us a DM over on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.